Call this meeting to order of the
Yeah, this is
EDC.
EDC. Got it. Roll call, Maria.
Okay, Sherry Boyer is absent. James Ellis,
Present.
Stephen Ehrman is absent. Madeline Fleury. Here. Justice Martin,
present.
Archie McKee,
Here.
Nate Manette,
Here.
also present, Jeremy Evans, Maria Bourgeois, Genevieve Trigg is now gone, sorry. Rachel Child and Russ Kenyon.
Thank you. Motion to accept the agenda or to add to the agenda? Is there a motion?
I'll make the
So
motion to
moved.
accept.
Motion to accept the agenda. Archie, second. All those in favor of accepting the agenda with no additions, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay? Ayes have it. Public comment? Okay, if none, we'll go on to approval of the previous meeting minutes of November 9th. Could I have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Second, Madeline. Are there any additions or deletions? If not, then we will move the motion to approve the previous meeting minutes of November 9th, 2022. Please signify by saying aye. For those who approve.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? The ayes have it. Bills and communications.
Sure. Done.
None. Committee reports, will dispense with the committee reports unless there's a committee that has to make a report. Very good. Hearing nothing, then we'll go on to the treasurer's report. Paul?
Similar to what I made comments in the previous meeting, really nothing new to report right now. Just continuing to work through the counting corrections that we're planning on doing before year end.
Very good.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Just on the report, just for my own,
Mhm.
I don't. You have current asset loans receivable, then down here, loans receivables. Why the
Okay.
two spots?
So that's the allowance, allowances for loans receivable, and that's something I have to work with the accountant on correcting it. It used to be the loans were up under accounts receivable,
Okay,
and they don't belong there because accounts receivable is less than 1 year in time. So they had to be moved to loans receivable. This is part of the auditor's suggestion. But the auditor has made journal entries to the allowance for loans receivable. So I don't want to do something to her work. I want to be able to have her. So basically that's going to be.
I'm just asking, what's the difference between?
Oh, so
This one and
one's
that one.
loans receivable and the allowance for loans receivable is an offset to anticipate potential defaults.
It's like a bad debt. So
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right,
perfect,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah, maybe it was labeled
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, okay.
It's all in the language.
Yeah, okay, all right, I
Sorry
got
about
you.
that.
No, it's okay, I just wasn't sure, that's all, thank you.
Any other
Paul,
questions? Go ahead.
Paul, do you have a scheduled meeting with the auditor to
Not yet.
go over some?
Yeah.
Are you shooting for?
I'm waiting till after the holidays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
I mean,
further questions?
Some of these, I mean, the one thing I want to point out is these are issues that have been on the books for years,
Yeah.
right? So I don't want to rush through fixing them and then have to fix them again. So, I mean, I certainly could make some adjustments and then she might come in and say, well, you needed to zig when you should have zagged or something like that. So I really want to have her input on that.
When is our next scheduled audit if they might be involved?
Well, I won't wait for that. I want to get it done before that audit process starts.
You have a target date, Paul?
No,
No? Okay.
The audit has to be completed and will be completed in March at the latest.
Yeah, usually it's in early spring.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Any other questions on the treasurer's report? If not, we'll accept a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Justice, second by Archie. Being no further discussion, all in favor of accepting the treasurer's report, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Very good. Hold on unfinished business, Jeremy.
No.
CEO report?
Yeah, well, it's the same things. We've got 3 IDA employees, 3 EDC employees, and I've completed the EDC employee reviews and interviews also. And looking forward to here in a minute to talking about some of our strategic planning for 2023. But at the same time, I'm wondering if we should do that after and make sure we get the business taken care of first.
Yeah, we'll take them in that order. That's not a problem. Assuming the report is completed and there is no discussion, we'll move on.
Yep.
Resolution 2022-33 to approve the New York Main Street Grant Award to 432 East Main Street, and I'm assuming that's Malone.
Yes.
Yes, that's Malone. That is the building next to the old bank. St. Dumas Church is renting the first floor. It was just recently purchased by Origins Design Group LLC. They have, they're not from Malone, and not only have they chosen Malone as their home part of the year, they are now choosing to invest in our downtown, which is very exciting. The award would be for $75,000 for the creation of a residential unit on the upper floor, as well as facade renovations to the front facade and rear facade. And one of the owners is an interior designer with a history in historic restoration. So it's in good hands. And we're very excited about the project.
Now, Rachel, which old bank is this?
It's the building where St. Dumas Church is renting on the first floor, next to the old
Which
bank.
church? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I missed the name of the church again. Where?
St. Dumas Church is renting the first floor.
It used to be Pouring Light Studios building.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, got it. Okay, very good.
I think
Yeah.
where Elm Street ends,
Yeah.
where Elm Street
Yeah.
comes, Route 11, by the crossing the Flanagan.
Yeah, kitty corners of the Flanagan. Yep.
It's the old Marine Midland Bank? Or
No, where, do you remember where Pouring Light Studios was?
No,
Um,
Stockholz?
It's,
Fleming's right next to it, right?
yeah, it's underneath Fleming's, below, or kind of in the same
Okay,
building,
Okay,
more or less.
okay.
Yeah. So if this award is approved, that brings us to $275,000 in grant awards. And that would leave us with up to $45,000 to make one last award, which I am working on and hope to make that award at some point in the new year, trying to find new projects. If you know of any new projects,
Main
please
Street,
send people my way.
it's right across the corner.
Yes, all right.
All right.
Who did, Rachel, who
So-
did you? I'm sorry, who did you
Where are
say?
we here?
The
Hang on.
LLC?
It's Origins Design Group LLC.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or information from Rachel on resolution 2022-33 to approve the New York Main Street Grant Award to 432 East Main Street?
That's great, that's great.
Good. If not, we'll have a motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
Justice, second by Archie. I think we're ready for the roll call, Maria.
Okay, this is for resolution 2022-33, approving New York Main Street Grant Award, 432 East Main Street. Sherry Boye is absent. James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Erman is absent. Madeline Fleury,
Yes.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee,
Yes,
and Nate Manette.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted.
this board is entirely too amenable. Isn't anybody gonna?
You know, I used to say when I was in the school business, I'm very good at spending other people's money.
Yeah.
Our next item is resolution 2022-34 to amend the investment policy. It is the same verbiage and the same action as we did in the previous meeting when we amended that investment policy. Is there any discussion or questions about this? If not, we'll assume that there is a motion to be made for amending the investment policy, resolution 2022-34. Could we have a motion?
I'll make the motion so we can discuss.
Motion by Archie, second by Justice.
Jim, did you say that we'd already approved the amendment?
We have to do it for each.
You have to do it for each part,
board.
Archie.
Okay,
So
so we
we
didn't do it
approved-
for,
Right, we did it in the IDA. We're now in the EDC meeting.
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. I assume we're ready to go with a roll call vote, Maria.
Okay, resolution 2022-34, amending the investment policy. Sherry Boye is absent. James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Erman is absent. Madeline Fleury,
Yes.
Justice Martin,
Let's see, JR.
Yes.
Archie McKee,
Yes,
Nate Manette.
Yes.
Resolution is adopted.
I know what it is. Thank you, everybody. Now we're
It's a charity, acronym for charities.
We're now ready to look at resolution 2022-35 to accept the charity 500 form 990. Could I have a motion?
so moved.
Moved by Archie, second,
I'll second.
second by Madeline. Okay, any discussion or any questions?
Well, we
Just-
looked at this in the Audit and Finance Committee meeting and Paul helped us through that and understand that, because I didn't know what CHAR 500 was, and I find out that that's the state form of the federal 990. So, and we went through that in pretty good detail, I thought.
And I want to just express my thanks to Paul, because we've never actually brought these to approval by the board that I'm aware of. And so that's a new best practice that we're now instituting to make sure you guys see it and have a chance to basically ratify it.
It doesn't work very good.
The village has a set with it's good.
Never mind.
Are there any questions or
No,
any
that's
questions?
No.
I'm assuming the Audit and Finance recommends approval.
Yes,
Archie? Okay.
yes, I do.
Very good. Then I assume with no discussion coming forward, it's time to do the roll call.
Okay, this is for resolution 2022-35, accepting the CHAR 500 and Form 990. Sherry Boye is absent. James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Erman is absent. Madeline Fleury,
Yes.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee,
Yes,
Nate Manette.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Very good. Executive session, is there any need for an executive session? Anyone? Hearing none, we'll assume the date of next meeting is January 11th, 2023.
So let me
Oh, I'm
ask a question.
Sure.
So Nate, it's my understanding you have to leave in a minute, right?
Yes, sir.
But Archie is here now. So could we could I go through kind of a strategic plan update and things within this meeting? when Nate needs to leave, he can leave. And then, and I'll try to keep it brief, but open to whatever the board wants to do. But because Archie's here, we can then do the CDC meeting. We'll have a quorum after we do this update. I'd rather do the update in the EDC than the CDC.
No problem.
Is that okay with everybody?
Fine.
Good by me.
Just get up and leave. I won't take offense to it.
Yeah, I got about 2 more minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna
So can
share
you
my
summarize?
Yeah, let's get
No,
rolling.
I really can't. So I apologize for that, but let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Nice to see you guys. I'll see you guys shortly. Yeah, well, they're making snow, but we're opening Saturday, so trying to get highlighted. That's right. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Nate.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
You as well, guys.
All right, okay, you guys can see this, so I'm just gonna, okay. All right, so I'm happy to take the time that you guys want to. This isn't the start or the end of the conversation about our 2022 accomplishments or our 2023 goals and activities. If you recall last year, every year we have to complete an annual report, and that gets submitted to the state by the end of March. We do it at the same time that we submit our financial reports and our audit. So we made a pretty big upgrade last year in putting together an annual report that went a lot farther than what we've done previously in kind of laying out everything of note that we accomplished. And we plan to do that again at that time frame. But it's still a good time to do a quick overview of highlights and help that and have a beginning discussion about 2023. So I just wanted to share a few things for this, and then we can, again, we'll be talking about it more over the coming weeks. So just so you know, I wanted to, because
Nice picture.
oh, thank you. We don't need to pay attention.
Who is that young guy?
Hey, all right.
Looks like you have my hairline.
Fancy, huh? Yeah. You don't know how much they've had to pay me to put the suit and tie on. I'm not gonna go through this in detail. You guys know the team. And I just wanted to mention how much I enjoy working with this crew and how much they do for the organization. And the reason that's there is because I've prepared a similar presentation for tomorrow at the legislative meeting, and they don't connect as much. They don't see the team doing all the work behind the scenes as much. So I wanted to make sure we put their mugshots up and just remind everybody some of the things that each of our staff people are involved in. So that's why that's there. So as a reminder, we've really been able to hone in and focus on our goals. And 3 of these goals are straight from the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. And for the last several years, we've focused on downtown revitalization as well. And you'll see, as far as I'm concerned, I've not seen any reason we need to adjust these. I think these are pretty good for our organization and for Franklin County. I'm not going to read all of these, and I can share this presentation just so everybody is reminded of these things, but these are some of the strategies and actions that we had identified to work on in 2022 under the strong economic development climate goal. These are the things that we identified for our vibrant entrepreneurial culture goal. And again, I'll share these with everybody. Let's share this presentation.
A question
Yeah.
about tomorrow morning. Are we bringing Paul and Russ and Rachel with us?
I was going to offer for them, if they wanted to come and join in and sit in the audience, they'd be welcome to. Yep.
I think that'd be good.
Great.
What time is that at?
10 a.m.
Is that right next door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what we had identified for downtowns and main streets. And here's what we had identified for our resilient industries goal. And these industries are, with the exception of renewable energy, which we've added because of just the opportunities that have presented themselves, these industries are identified in the SEDS. And I don't have it on this presentation, but we were talking about this as a team the other day, and Maria reminded us that the SEDS is now 6 years, maybe 7 years old. So we're going to be looking at, it's overdue for an update, especially if you want to seek funding through the Economic Development Administration, which we're gearing up to do just for a variety of reasons. So we've got to take a look at how to update our SEDS.
What does that stand for?
Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy.
Okay, not an X.
Yeah.
I was on that.
It's the four corners, yes.
You have lots of copies in the closet.
Oh, great.
What intersection is that a picture of?
That's Route 11 in Moira, Route 11 and 95.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so I think I heard somebody ask about the SED. So is that, Russ, can you get, if Archie and Madeline?
Paul just did it.
Okay.
I've
Paul,
got
can
my
you get
manual.
Archie? Can you get Archie one as well?
Sure.
There's a whole box in the closet. Okay. So let's get to some highlights. This is not the full breakdown of accomplishments and what we did or didn't do compared to our what we set forth to do, but this is just some highlights that I wanted to mention, and hopefully it can spur discussion about next year. The big one that I want to make sure we talk to the legislature about is we really helped them get the land bank application done, which was a high priority for them.
Yeah.
And now they're waiting to get feedback on whether it's approved by the state, but that's been in.
You gonna mention the sets tomorrow? Should.
We probably should, yeah.
Because I think that's our.
Right, it's been our guiding star, right? It's like,
Yes.
it's not like we're making this stuff up out of nowhere.
And this is what's good about having Justice as chairman of the new county board's Economic Development Committee.
Is that for real?
Back and forth, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that right, Justice? You're gonna be the chairman?
Who knows? It's not January yet.
Nothing has been
It's proposed.
decided.
Okay.
It's planned.
Here's a vibrant entrepreneurial culture. Russ, especially towards the end of the year, was able to really finally get there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of work to do to get to this point, but all of the CARES Act grant was awarded.
What's that last one on the bottom?
Amado's, Tupper Lake.
Oh, okay.
And we should be receiving the first reimbursement money back within a couple of weeks. And
What did he say?
I think he said any day.
Oh.
And maybe he's more optimistic than me. And then we'll get the second reimbursement soon in the new year, but we've been able to, working with the county, we've been able to provide this funding to 7 Franklin County businesses. I'll also mention that as a reminder, we expanded the carry. It's at least twice as big as it was compared at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And we continued work as a Center for Businesses in Transition partner, and we're excited to do that again in 2023. And we're talking about how to kind of, elevate what we are doing in that regard. But so those are some rewarding work we've been able to be involved in. You guys see these resolutions coming left, right, and every which way regarding downtown revitalization. Rachel's been doing great work you've received now both the loan report and our grant report. So I won't go into details, but basically we have close to $3 million in grant awards that we're administering. And in addition to administering several grants, nobody's happier than me. I don't know who's happier, me or Rachel, but we're both super happy that we can say that the book is being closed on the 2018 Main Street grant that kicked this whole effort off several years ago. And it's just in time because last week or 2 weeks ago, the Village of Tupper Lake was awarded $600,000 through the DRI initiative, the Downtown Revitalization Initiative, in order to do the Energize Uptown Fund. So it's good to clear one grant off so that we can have the capacity to do the next one. And Rachel, as you will know, is so excited to be able to start a program from scratch and not have to like come in midstream. She's really excited to do it just from the ground running.
If I might, and I think the rest of the board that's present will join me in saying how impressed we are with the work that Rachel's done so far. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for what you're doing. It's really great to have someone who just keeps putting that information out there so we don't get blindsided by some question that somebody else might have. But thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. I really enjoy it. It's been very rewarding.
Good.
And she's going on a year. We've had
That's
her
right too, isn't
for a year.
January.
Yes, and so we're very excited about that. Here's a couple highlights. The board just approved incentives for 3 solar projects. That took a lot of work towards this in this last part of the year, and we'll get those closed by the end of the year. That will bring in some good revenues from the IDA as well. Again, I don't feel we should be adjusting our 2023 overarching goals. I think they're pretty solid, but obviously we want to take a look at the strategies and actions within each one. This is not complete.
Jeremy?
Jeremy, Archie's got a question.
Can you go back?
Okay.
Go
Right
back
here?
a screen.
No, one more.
One more,
I guess one.
one more.
Yes, assisting Bionique with expansion. What is Bionique?
Bionique is a company that's located in Harrietstown near the Adirondack Regional Airport that does testing for all sorts of pharmaceuticals and biotech companies that need, I don't even know how to describe it, but
Reagents.
they do testing of different biomarkers and mediums and things.
That
and
mediums they use for
I don't even know how to
marketing
describe
their-
it.
marketing their
They've
research.
described it to me 100 times and I still can't, or I can't describe it accurately. But
They test for mycoplasma. All the liquids that go in the body have to be tested for this particular organism. And they're one of only like 3 or 4 companies in the world that do it.
They've been established for quite some time and they have expanded.
they are, well,
Very
they're
interesting.
planned, yeah, well, they have been expanding, that's right, but they are out of space and they are looking to expand their facility, and it's one of the projects that we're currently working on to make sure we're giving them all the help we possibly can with that, because it's a strong local company and they're adding jobs and
Good.
they're good jobs.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so we know we want to work in areas related to workforce, housing, telecommunications, childcare, transportation. Broadband is a priority for us in the county. We'll talk about that again tomorrow. We've got facilities that we need to always be thinking about and working on. And
Sorry, I'm not sure what it's doing.
I wanted to make sure we have an opportunity for any board input at this point and not that this is the only input, but what else should we be thinking about? Are there other categories? Are there other topics that touch economic development that affect our ability to be a strong place.
Transportation. And I'm not talking just about trains, which I'm intimately involved with, but also transportation within the county. We have a county bus system that I think seems to be doing a fair job. Now we have to try to figure out how to move people around within our communities in terms of, for example, bring a train to Tucker Lake. What do I do with 200 people to get off the train? They got to have some way to get uptown or to get to the restaurants or to get to the brewery or whatever. So I think transportation in general is something we ought to consider. We may not be able to actually jump into it with both feet next year, but I think we should have it on the agenda, the board as we see it right now.
Okay.
Transportation and its contribution to infrastructure. I think that's important.
I have a question about one of the things.
The Army Transportation Corps for 3 years.
I have a question about, yeah, about, we have childcare up there. I mean, what have we done to improve that or expand it? I think it's underneath the, right? There's something with childcare.
Right, it's one of these, and it's a good question, Madeline. I know that I've had several discussions with providers, someone who wants to create a childcare business. They're at the very early stages, so we've just given some pointers on things. So again, this is one of those topics where we know we want to be supportive, but we don't always know exactly what that kind of support will entail because we're not the leaders in it. There's other agencies and organizations and that's all they do. And so we want to be there ready to support and help as the opportunities come.
Okay.
So
it's more, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's like, not that it's not a priority, I don't know what the right word is, but it's not something that we really are actively involved in. Is that?
Not in a,
As,
It would be supporting
Our community
Just
is
as a
support,
business.
just as a support.
connected to economic development.
right, yes, yeah. Yeah, and Russ and I have been talking about talking about ways that we could maybe tailor some of our activities and programs and funding that would be able to target childcare facilities. And we have no answers for that right now. It's just something we've been talking about.
Yeah.
There's other IDAs and EDCs elsewhere in the North Country that have been a little bit more on the forefront in this. And so we want to be at the ready if a request comes where there's a way we can actually be supportive.
Okay.
There might very well be some people that are interested, because I think if you were to check around the community, there's probably 6, 7, 8, a dozen people that operate limited daycare facilities, but I would say that a lot of them are probably unlicensed and uncertified with the state. I know we happen to take our grandchildren to one. She lives out on south of town on Route 30, probably about 3 miles, and she is in tuned and informed about several grants that become available to her, and it has allowed her to develop this childcare facility that looks like a miniature. If you've ever been to the North Pole up in Lake Placid, that's just adorable. Well, that's what this place is. It's just adorable, and she gets financial help as well. And I'll bet dollars to donuts that the people that are operating a daycare, so to speak, are afraid to death that they are not licensed and something could happen And maybe we could facilitate that or process like we do
Yeah.
many other businesses, how to help them get licensed and get them at least informed about how to do this, because I think there's monies available to them if they are.
Maybe figure out where the grant money is.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
target
and
that.
we, I guess, that's one of the things, so we do try to at least stay somewhat current and on top of the topic. So that if someone comes to us, we may not be the experts, but we can then direct them. We usually know in all of these subject areas, we usually know, almost always know who we can direct somebody to. And we find that can be pretty valuable too, because a lot of times people are going all over the place trying to find information. And if we can get them to the right person and make a direct connection or introduction, it can just save them some hassle. So beyond any direct support we might be able to provide, we do like to stay current as much as possible on some of these topics so that we can make those connections. All right, I want to keep moving, but the question still stands for everybody in this, on all of these topics. What else should we be thinking about?
I have one thing.
On the other one? Okay.
I know we discussed it briefly, but I think our goal has been as an agency to not only understand what our role is, but also to connect with other key players of economic development in our region, knowing that together we can be most effective. And, obviously there's, better than I do how many different players there are. But even with the current tourism office, like how can we understand our relationship with that and work together to best impact economic development in the region?
Yeah, well, that's an ongoing, right? It's a never-ending thing of activity to be talking with those partners, understanding what they're doing, looking for ways to coordinate. Yep.
An area that we don't seem to deal a whole lot with and has been very important in developing many of our larger community is agriculture. I know Malone would not even exist if it weren't for the agriculture that was developed around the village. Many of those small farms are gone, but right here in Malone, the Malone area, we have 3 huge farms that are expanding. We have the Poopors in Bangor. We have, I think it's the Moors on Route 11, they're expanding. And the Bilos, God knows what they're developing out on the Brainersville Road. It's just magnificent. And we hardly ever speak of that. And I don't know anything about it, but
I think it's our top industry, and it's something that we've done a lot of work trying to figure out what our role can or should be, because there's a lot of limitations on what we can do for various reasons. On the one hand, number 2, there's other agencies and organizations that we need to develop better relationships with that are in this space, and it's like all they do. So I think, Archie, your point is very important, and if anyone, as we think through this over the next few weeks, any suggestions on ways we might be able to get more involved in supporting agricultural based businesses, then let's talk about it. We have a committee, and that we should get that committee together and focus on that topic.
And go speak to some of the farmers, go speak to these 3 farm operations. They obviously know how to operate a farm, what they need and what to do.
Well, we are talking with one of them, And you'll see in a minute, we'll be talking about another one. So hold that thought for a minute.
Okay.
Again, the question is, beyond everything that we've already identified, if you have thoughts about downtown revitalization related priorities, love to hear them. We have plenty to keep us busy, but if there's something that we're missing, then let's consider it. And I think Archie's getting to this one, right? So agriculture being a key industry, what can we do to support that industry? All right, for the purposes of our meeting, I want to end, but I want to share this video. Okay, so if you recall, you had approved a contract with Jordan Craig Media to produce 4 videos based on some of our priority industries, and 3 of them have been shot. 1 of them still needs to be done, and they're in various stages of completion. And I want to give a lot of credit to Kelly, who's been, you don't see her a lot, but she's like, this is the kind of stuff that she's doing. It takes a lot of effort to coordinate. And so we just finally got, this is about the final, literally yesterday. So I wanted to give everybody a sneak peek, and we're gonna share it tomorrow too, because I think it's really, I don't know, it speaks for itself. So hopefully, I think you guys need to let me know if you can hear it. I don't know, there might need to be a way for me to make sure you can hear the audio. I think there's a setting where I have to do that. Let me just check that first. Share sound. I think I'm going to try this, and hopefully this works. All right. Do you hear this?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Carl, I'm a dairy veterinarian, and I live on the Adirondack frontier. So a lot of what we do with cattle is, yes, making sure they're healthy on a day-to-day basis, but also ensuring that they're productive for the next year. And we focus a lot on breeding and fertility, and that's a big part of what we do as dairy veterinarians. In the end, that's the whole goal of our operation.
I'm Anissa White. I'm a dairy farmer. I feel like I was really lucky to grow up on this dairy farm with my family and my brothers. Every day was spent out on the farm in some type of capacity. Calf barn chores in the morning, every morning before school. So a lot of special, memories all together like that.
When we think about our place within Malone, within the community, we're fortunate to interact directly with a number of employees. We currently have about 37 employees. It houses about 800 animals here in this barn. Situation here at Carsata that my parents are still actually involved in owning and managing the farm. So it's great that after, a day of work or in the middle of work, I can run in on my lunch break and hang out with my nieces for a little while, see mom and dad, walk down the street to see my grandparents, and then come back and finish work or go home. Usually when I come in the morning, I check in with our team members. We have a large team of herds people that have to take care of our cattle. So after I kind of make sure that everybody's squared away and has their plan for the day, I spend a lot of time looking over our data from all the activity and from the milk meters and everything that we're picking up on cows to make sure that everybody's healthy and that cows that need to be examined or checked out are getting that done in a timely fashion.
For us, it's important to preserve our family heritage and our farm heritage. Part of this facade and preservation is because we're proud of it. We're proud of our heritage and our time here and our family being here and living here.
For young people that are looking at their future and considering where they're going to land, it's good to go out and see what's out there. But at the same time, remember where you came from, remember your roots, and think about the many positive things that we have up here in this part of the world. It's a safe community. There's a lot of great things to do outside, but there's a lot of great things going on in this part of the world too.
This is what the Adirondack Frontier is made of.
Neat, neat. There's a place on 11B too that's got a series of huge barns too. I never see much activity there. Maybe it sits back from the road somewhat, and I wonder if that's a cattle or a dairy farm or maybe chickens. I don't know.
Sure. All right, so hopefully that you like that.
Yes, and a
Very
question.
good. Very nice.
What will happen with these videos? Where do they go?
We're gonna put them as CD and then put them back in the vault. So nobody ever sees them.
Sounds like a Sedge report.
Yes, right.
Jeremy, I think
No,
that vault is full.
Right, so great question.
Just like the Sedge report, Archie.
And
Yeah.
maybe what we could do is have Kelly come and talk more about that. But now that she's got a plan, right? So
Right.
now we actually have a video, and again, the other ones are in various stages of production. We have a video, and now it's about getting it out there, both on Facebook.
That's well done.
Putting it on our website. There will be money put behind it for like different audiences, because that video, all of these videos have multiple goals that this one captures pretty well. Obviously, we want to highlight our largest industry, that we chose agriculture on purpose to be one of the ones we highlighted for a reason. We wanted to show, but we also wanted to tell the story of quality of life of actually living here, which I think that one does. They
Right.
did
That's
a pretty
a great
good job there too. And you'll see some of the other ones show a little bit different spin on things of what it means to actually live and work here, right? So that the idea is we've got great businesses, we've got a great quality of life, and yes, you can live here and enjoy it. It's awesome, and there's there's a variety of different job opportunities that can give you a meaningful quality of life for you and your family. So we're trying to hit a few different things all within our mission with each of these videos, but they will each have a little bit different take because it's each one's a different type of business.
Yes.
And they're highlighting a different employee in each business. So we're really excited about it, and we'll be using this stuff in 2023 and just putting it out there in social media and on YouTube and on our website, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So, but the specifics, I have to have Kelly's got to describe that for us.
Is forestry one of them?
Not in this round.
Okay. But it should be.
It is. On
It's
our
an
list.
unfortunate
No, we
thing.
want to do more.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Franklin County is really two counties. You got the agricultural, and it's good. Don't get me wrong. Agricultural and food production. And then down on the other end, you've got tourism and tourism businesses. So somehow if we could bring that together, that would be a great thing to do.
If these go well,
It's our
and
strength. It's really a strength for us.
If we get some good traction with these,
Yeah.
then we want to do more because there's more opportunity. So wanted to close with that, just because it kind of highlights one of the things that we've been working on
Great
that
job.
we've never really done as well as we should, which is selling and marketing our communities and our businesses. And it's the support that you guys make as a board when it comes to budget time to give us the leeway and flexibility in the budget to do something like this.
Right.
But quite frankly, this is a type of thing that obviously benefits Franklin County as a whole, and the investment that Franklin County has made with a contract with us also helps, right? I mean, this stuff, doing a high quality video like this takes money.
Yep.
Right? So every dollar that we can put towards this type of activity makes a huge difference. But we don't generate taxes. We have to find funding from different places to be able to do this type of work.
Well, I I sort of think that we do create taxes. We create the opportunities for things like sales tax.
Well, yes, but in an indirect way, but we don't collect it.
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is that we create the opportunities. It was like being a high school principal.
Right.
You don't teach, but you create the conditions in which good teaching can take place. That's the way I see
That's a good
this.
analogy. Okay,
Great.
that's what I wanted to share today. Thanks for your patience with that, but
Oh,
it's that time of year. I want to make
it was
sure we get
wonderful.
some feedback and keep thinking about it. I will share that presentation with everybody, maybe on Friday with the weekly update, so you have it. And we'll keep talking about it into January.
Thank you. One closing item, because it'll be after Christmas before we get together again, but I wish there were more of us here. But I want to wish on behalf of the board to everyone who works for us and with us, a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous and healthy and happy, spirit-filled new year. The blessings of Almighty God on all of us for what we do. You're great people to work with. We enjoy it. And I enjoy my fellow board members. A lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Our next meeting.
Happy holidays.
See you, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel. Our next meeting is January 11th, 2023. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Did we vote on everything?
Moved by Archie, second.
Second it.
Justice. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
We have,
There we are.